Where have I been? I'm Dr. Maria Rothenburger, by the way. I'm your host for the Reluctant Medium podcast. And I have been on, a little bit of a journey at the end of 2023. I will share my whole process for what I do in a new year, and I will talk about the culmination of that for 2023. Welcome to the Reluctant Medium, where we cover the gamut of out there conversations. With an open mind and a curious heart, we want to talk about it all, from psychic phenomena and energy medicine to beings from other star systems and out-of-body experiences. You'll find a great balance between grounded science-backed topics and others that science hasn't quite caught up to yet. I'm your host, Dr. Maria Rothenburger, a psychotherapist by trade and a reluctant spirit baby communicator. And hey, even though I'm a medium, I'm not buying everything folks are selling. I just have a voracious appetite to know more about what I call the world of the weird. Join us on your favorite podcast platform or watch on YouTube at The Reluctant Medium. I'll see you there. The Reluctant Medium is part of the Ethereal Network. Here's another podcast you may want to check out.
Hey, beautiful people. Are you stressed out, overwhelmed, overtired, just over it? Have you tried all the things or really want to, but you're just not sure how to get all those stress relievers into your life for real and for good? It sounds like you might need a little bit of stress therapy with me. I'm Sherry Flake, and I'm the stress therapist. I teach people how to get better at stress, stop procrastinating, and stay motivated while we work on healthy habits like meditation and happy living. Stress therapy means that you're about to benefit from all of the clients that have sat on my couch, the workshop attendees that have sat in my audience, and the participants that have come to my retreats over the past 25 years. This is not a head nod with platitudes. This is real guidance with real results in real time for real people. I'll show you what works, why it works, and most importantly, how to get it all to work for you and how to keep it up so you have new healthy habits that last a lifetime and make you the best you ever. Stress therapy means learning how to meditate every single day without stress, procrastination, or excuses. Finally, here's a way to reap all those magical benefits of meditation, making stress therapy and meditating accessible, practical, doable, and for people just like you. You deserve this. Believe me, it's time. So sit back, relax, and listen up, because here comes me, the stress therapist, and your stress therapy session is about to begin right now.
Well, hello and welcome to the Reluctant Medium podcast and a happy new year 2024. I've been missing for a while, so I'm happy to be back in January 2024. I was not around for the last quarter of 2023. I will explain where I was, what I've been up to, and stay tuned until the end of this podcast today because I'll be doing a little forecasting theme work for your 2024 and mine. Actually, I was actually totally surprised when I picked a card and it was like, whoa, this is exactly what you needed to hear. It's really cool. All right. Where have I been? I'm Dr. Maria Rothenburger, by the way. I'm your host for the Reluctant Medium podcast. And I have been on a little bit of a journey at the end of 2023. I will share my whole process for what I do in a new year, and I will talk about the culmination of that for 2023. Let's start with that. My process for moving through a new year is never involving a resolution. Never. Now, I haven't looked up the Merriam-Webster definition for resolution, but I will tell you what it feels like to me and what I do instead. A resolution to me feels like, okay, that's it, Maria. You've been bad. It's now time to be good. And I don't really function well when somebody tells me that I have been bad. It's not very motivating. I feel like I want to dig in my heels and go, so I like being bad. So I'm just going to continue being bad. Instead, what I do is set an intention for the year. An intention to me feels more curious, like, okay, where are the areas of my life where I feel like I want to make some adjustments? What has been going on that I feel like needs to be better, different, whatever? And then I set an intention to create that change. And the curiosity and the playfulness about this is, I'm going to set this intention. Let's see what happens. Let's see how my behaviors align. Let's see how the universe manifests shit that match that intention. I do way better with play. And I suspect you do too. It's much more light and free. And there's not like this, you are being punished or there's a consequence for your poor behavior. It's much more, I want to feel this way this year. Let's see how my behaviors align. Let's see how the universe manifests that. And I've just repeated myself so that it really sticks with you. That is how I create intention, really, in the new year. So I will share with you what happened last year, how I set my intention, what I do to move into a new year, and then I will talk about where I've been, what the last quarter brought in 2023. All right, so let's start. You've probably heard me talk, if you listened to this podcast before or my previous podcast, the Miracles Happen Fertility podcast, which is also archived in this same show, I tout the bullet journal like crazy. I love the bullet journal. I will link up to what the bullet journal is, but suffice it to say, it is the most streamlined, simplistic organizational tool I have ever used, and I use it every single year. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see me now holding up my bullet journal for 2023. I get a new bullet journal every year, and it organizes my entire life. I love it. And there's something about writing things down as opposed to typing them in notes on my phone or something, or voice noting, that just makes more sense to me. Now, other people are more auditory, so like voice notes might work for you much better than a bullet journal. But hey, check out the link below. The creator, writer Carol has ADHD and he needed a organizational tool that was simple. He did a TED Talk about it. It's great. I will link up to that. All right, so this is what I do in my new year. Every bullet journal has in the beginning a little space for like a note, like this journal belongs to so-and-so. You can put that there. It's just 3 blank lines. And last year, what I wrote was, Dear Maria, I love you. You're awesome. Love, Maria. Now, I didn't remember that I wrote that note to myself until I went back to look at my intention for last year. So it was lovely to see that. I really hope that you practice self-love, self-compassion like that on a daily basis. It's a really beautiful thing to do. Even if you can't say I love you yet, you can say something self-compassionate to yourself. Okay. Then at the beginning of every bullet journal is a space for your intentions for the year. I like to keep it really simple, 1 or 2, maximum 2 intentions for the year. That's like your overall theme. And my intention last year was follow my intuition. Now, I've talked a lot about following intuition and what that's like. Intuition feels like fact. It's just neutral. It feels right and like fact. Well, never before was that put so much into test than last year for me, especially the last quarter. The beginning of 2023 started a whole health journey, a physical health journey. Prior to that, in previous years, it had been mental health, emotional health, spiritual health in a big way, and embracing all my spiritual stuff, which was mental work and emotional work. There was a lot of stuff going on there. And then Oh, well, let me actually just say the physical stuff. In 2022, December 2022, you may have heard me talk about this. I got really, really sick. I had COVID and then the flu on the heels of that. I was down for the count for the month. It was awful. And it was at that point, because my guides had been telling me and my intuition had been telling me for a couple of years, you need to watch what you eat. You need to reduce your alcohol consumption. I ignored it. I totally ignored it, doing all the things that I normally do. And my kids would bring home like the sniffles. I'd be in bed for a day. It was horrible. My body was not functioning well. So I hired a nutritionist, Dr. Caroline Huarte White, or White Huarte. I can't remember which one. She's amazing. I will link up to her as well. She's a psychologist who specializes in nutrition for mental health. I did not know how much I needed the mental health piece until the end of last year. I was really focused on physical wellness. And let me tell you, I have, well, I was sick once about a week ago now. Um, I had some kind of virus and it lasted like half a day. Totally fine after that. My body just did what it needed to do instead of, you're going to be in bed for a week. It's amazing what nutrition does, and mental health and emotional health and spiritual health, like all the things. But nutrition was the last piece for me, my physical wellness, moving my body, which is part of Dr. Caroline's work, and meditation, finding calm, finding centeredness. Meditation is my biggest tool that I tout all the time. And nutrition was the last piece. So thank you, Dr. Caroline, for your work. All right. What I do for the rest of the beginning of the year, there's a whole like ceremony for me. I like to honor and release the previous year. So it's almost like a cord cutting ceremony, but not, to me, cord cutting feels like I'm going to just cut this out of my life. Well, it's different than that. It feels more like I am honoring the parts of me that are holding on to the previous year, and I now release them. I give the previous year's energy back to it. I honor the things that I've taken and completed in the previous year. I take back my energy that I gave to that year. And then I offer a closing ceremony and a release, really. It's a releasing ceremony of the previous year. I write it down in my bullet journal. So it's really a writing, and I have candles lit and I have meditation music on, usually solfeggio frequencies of some kind. And then I just write down my release ceremony in my bullet journal. The last thing that I do to prepare for the upcoming year, so it's invoking the next year and the intentions that I have for that year, is just that. So I write down things like how I want to feel in 2024 is blah, 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 blah. The intentions that I have for 2024 for career are this. The intentions that I have for personal relationships are this, et cetera, et cetera. So I write several things like that. And then I do a tarot reading for myself. And wow, 2023's tarot reading, I did not know how freaking accurate it was until I reviewed it in just a week ago. It was mind blowing how accurate it was. And in it were several things about relationships that I had to set boundaries with or let go. And one of those big ones was actually my dad. I had to set some clear boundaries there. And unfortunately, at the end of last year, I told my husband that I wanted a divorce. And you'll see in my book, Transcending Infertility, right behind me here, I wrote about the first time that we met with divorce. We were knocking on divorce's door, and we actually were able to come out of that more solid of a couple than we ever were. And that began to decline again over the last several years. I'm not going to share all of the personal details of what had been going on, mostly because I feel the need to protect. I personally am like, blah, I will tell you all of the things. I believe in authentic living and just being out there. And I also feel like if I can help one person with my own personal struggle, if it helps even one person, it's worth it to share. But the thing is, I have kids and I really care about my soon to be ex. Um, and so I feel the need to protect them. Suffice it to say, my ex and I, or my soon to be ex and I, are both beautiful people, and we don't go together anymore. And I just want to leave it at that. I hope that if you are going through a similar thing, either with a partner or any close, loving relationship in your life, that you can see their humanity and that you can see your own humanity and honor that and send love to it and be kind and compassionate toward them and toward yourself. So I just want to leave that there. Suffice it to say, once again, it has been difficult. It has been really hard. And the last quarter of the year, I was completely unable to even publish podcasts that I had previously recorded. I couldn't even edit them. I was really in fight or flight for the last few months, and I was focused on the bare minimum things. And guess what? Everybody lived. So let that be a lesson to you. That is all over my book, Transcending Infertility. If you're struggling with fertility issues, totally, of course, recommend picking that up to learn how to manage and how to move through fertility issues with the greatest ease that is possible. It's not completely easy, but it's possible to bring in the greatest ease possible. So all of the tools that I wrote about in my book are the same tools that I used and that I am using to move through this really difficult period of my life. I write in the book, these are not just fertility related tools. These are tools that you can put in your toolbox, in your back pocket, have handy, at the ready for every single stinking stressful event of your life. Because let's face it, there's going to be a lot of stressful events for the rest of our lives. So the tools that I talk about in the book are the exact tools that I use now, that I'm using now. The main one, meditation. I already talked about that. I just alluded to that earlier with Dr. Caroline. Meditation is huge, and I'm using it. So that has been what's been going on. That's where I've been. I have been taking care of myself, and everybody is still alive and breathing. And okay, we're a little worse for wear. I'm a little worse for wear, but I now feel capable of hopping back on this podcast adventure with you, doing some solo casts, doing some interviews, and sharing all of the wisdom that is out there. It's amazing the people that I get to meet, and I can't wait to share these interviews with you. I did record some of these interviews back in 2023. I'm now ready to publish them, edit them, and publish them. So they are coming your way, and new interviews are coming, of course, as well for 2024. Okay, I want to share with you what my intention is for 2024. I have two of them. One of them, be intentional. Be intentional. And the second one, be authentic. Now, one of the things that I learned when I was paying attention to my intuition last year was there were many areas where I didn't feel truly authentic. I feel like I was trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. One example is my dad, where I felt like his behavior was just kind of who he was. Like, that's who he is. That's just what dad does. And it's true, that's just what he does. But authentically speaking, it didn't fit my life. And I needed to be true to myself. I needed to honor that. And so the authentic part of me took action and created a limit and a boundary there. The same with my marriage. I had to create a limit and a boundary there and really be true to myself. And honestly, not only was it my internal process, like my emotions, my physical being, like my body was screaming at me, something has to be different. And so the authentic part of me listened. And that is going to be my theme. Those are my two themes for 2024: be intentional and be authentic. Okay. That actually brings me to the reading for this year for you and for me. This is your personal theme for 2024. And I used to do these readings every month. I've since stopped doing them because they just took up a little bit too much of my bandwidth. But I'm going to start every year with one. I think it's really beautiful to have a theme for the year. This year, I am pulling from the Hero's Journey Oracle deck. This is such a cool stinking deck. Oh, excuse me, it's called the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. It is such a cool deck. If you don't know Joseph Campbell, he wrote The Hero's Journey, and it's basically a tarot spread, like from 1 to 21, the beginning of a journey all the way up through all of the treacherous and good times that culminates to the end of the thing being manifest. And of course, after the thing becomes manifest, you start a new journey all over again. So the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle is so cool. It incorporates dreams and the hero's journey into one beautiful deck with gorgeous artwork. So I'm going to be pulling from that deck right now. Well, I already pulled up the cards. I want to share them with you right now. I'm actually going to be reading directly from the book that comes with the Oracle because I can intuit the messages here, but I have to tell you, I read through them and I was like, whoa, this is just so said so eloquently. I'm just going to read it. Okay, so here's how this goes. I have pulled 3 cards. Choose what comes to your awareness immediately, 1, 2, or 3. And stick with that number. The one that first comes to your awareness is the right one. You can trust it, okay? All right, so I'm going to read card 1. This is the one that I chose. And this card is it's called A Splendid Torch. And it says underneath there, blaze brightly. If you are watching this podcast on YouTube, you're able to see the card right now. I'm just going to pull that part up in the deck and read from there. Now, this is in the book, it starts with a quote, and then there's a message, a dream symbol, and a mantra. Okay, so the quote is by George Bernard Shaw, and it goes like this. This is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle for me. It is a sort of splendid torch which I have got hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. My God, how beautiful is that? That is an idea around living your life to the max, fully, full steam ahead. And sometimes full steam ahead means resting. It does mean taking stock and sitting for a bit to see where your candle is burning. But that is still taking the bull by the horns and moving forward. Okay, here's the message for this card. This is the card that I chose. I don't know if I just said that or not, but I was like, whoa, this is exactly what I needed for this year. Reflect upon your hero's journey and recognize that you are more yourself now than you've ever been. And there's more where that came from. This is my theme, side note. This is my theme of being authentic for the year. After all, the end of one journey is the beginning of the next. But before you embark upon your next adventure, take a moment to acknowledge yourself for participating in this quest and for keeping your eternal flame of purpose burning bright. At this point, you don't have to wait for others to light your fire, because the permission you need has already been granted. Know that true joy comes from being a splendid torch that lights the way for others. The dream symbol is fire. Dreams of fire reflect that you are hot stuff. Your self expression has been ignited and is running full throttle. You may be amidst major transformation, moving from one stage of your life to the next, like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. Perhaps you are unrecognizable to your former self. Unleash your power mindfully and realize that with heat, power, comes responsibility and maturity. Burning away limiting beliefs and self concepts that no longer serve your highest expression is an alchemical initiation. Holy fuck, this couldn't be more true for me. If you chose card number one, I really hope that that resonates with you. Okay, the mantra for this card: I know how to light myself on fire, and I burn brightly as a celebration of life. Okay, hope that was meaningful for you. All right, the second card, card number two, if you chose card number two, is how much good can you handle? Oh, what a cool card. The words underneath are explore the upward spiral of grace. Let me flip to that card now in the book. The quote in this for this card is by Kelly Sullivan Walden. How much good can you handle? How much love can you take? How much good can you endure before your fortress breaks? Whoo, I think that good things are on the horizon for you, card number two. Okay, here's the message for this card. When blessings come in, stop holding your breath, awaiting the other shoe to drop. You no longer need to feel that you're begging gifts from the universe. May your prayer not be for more, but that you have the eyes to see that what you've always wanted is what you've always had. Perhaps you thought it was cute to be coy and self-effacing when given a compliment, an acknowledgement, or appreciation. It is time to open your heart, breathe deeply, and receive blessings, knowing it is not just about or for you. With every gift you receive, you can give back to life. It is an energy exchange, a perpetuating spiral of appreciation that leads to more to appreciate. This spiral circulates upward, escalating you into higher realms of consciousness. Instead of questioning what you did to deserve all this goodness, pray to become more aware of and receptive to the blessings in your life. Whoa. The dream symbol for this card is gift. Dreams of a gift are an affirmation that you are on the right track. Consider what the gift is and what it symbolizes in your waking life. Giving the gift denotes a desire to have your gifts, aka talents, appreciated. If you are the recipient of the gift, the dream might be a litmus test for your current level of receptiveness in light of the blessings the universe has in store for you. The mantra for this card: I am present as I open my heart to graciously behold the blessings laying at my feet. Wow, what a great card. Okay, card number three, it is your turn. Your card is stop and take in the view. The words on the bottom: take stock of the treasures you've earned. Boy, this is kind of related to card number two, isn't it? Okay, the quote for this card is by Sarah Ban Brethnock. It says, whatever we are waiting for, it will surely come to us, but only when we are ready to receive it with an open and grateful heart. The message: you might notice you get stuck in strive and drive mode and forget to pause from time to time, look around, and take inventory of the blessings and treasures you've learned and earned along the way. Regular stops to take in the view are a must for sustaining steady progress over the long haul. You have accomplished a great deal, but the real test is whether you can accept the blessings that are a result of your hard work. Can you stop and be filled with appreciation for all you've accomplished thus far? It is now time to be showered with blessings, whether you are deep in the valley or on the mountain peak. Revel in the rewards of your journey thus far. Quell your worries about the false notion that a reverie will make you weak, complacent, or an egomaniac. In fact, Take heart knowing that delighting in love and appreciation will give you the strength to journey further, thus multiplying the gifts you can share with others. The dream symbol for this card is mountain. Dreams of a mountain or hill represent attitudes toward achievement or challenges. You are learning to face and embrace your challenges so you can stand on the mountaintop and appreciate the new vista before you. If you dream of being at the peak, revel in feeling victorious, powerful, successful, and that you have what it takes to overcome life's ups and downs. The mantra for this card: there is no there. There is only here. Be here now. Okay, I hope that reading resonates for you and that you take your theme, write it down somewhere, and use it for the entire year. Perhaps move it into your intention for the year. Maybe not a resolution. If you want to do the work that I like to do, create an intention around that card. For me, it is being completely authentic and intentional this year. There's a lot of fire for 2024 for me, so you're going to see a lot of things popping up. I do have a quick announcement and a favor to ask of you. A book is on the horizon. I've probably talked about this in passing very briefly, but this morning it really came to me that this book is ready to be written. It's going to be called The Reluctant Medium, and I'm going to be sharing stories of mediumship. Now, I specialize in spirit baby mediumship, but I'm curious about all mediumship. I'm curious about your story. Are you a medium? Do you do this kind of work? Have you had mediumship readings? What were they like for you? How did they manifest? Did they manifest? What was your experience like, good or bad? Or aligned or not aligned? Or did it work out? Were they completely off base, or were they like mind-blowingly accurate? If you've had a reading with me or somebody else, I would love to hear your story. Would you please, for a chance at being in my book, email me your story? If I am curious and wanting to know more about your story, I would love to do an in-depth interview with you for the book. You can email Maria at thereluctantmedium.us. If you would like to be a part of my upcoming book, I would love to hear your story of mediumship, whether you are a medium yourself or you've had readings or all of it, either by myself or somebody else, or all of the above. I would love to hear your story. Maria at thereluctantmedium.us. Okay, that is it for this initial episode for 2024. May it be an amazing year for you. I know it's going to be for me, and I look forward to connecting further for the rest of 2024. May you be intentional. May you be authentic. May you be well. See you next time. Thanks for joining the Reluctant Medium podcast today. I hope you found some useful information, or maybe just a few laughs, or maybe you feel deeply seen. That's my hope. If you'd like to connect with me in any way, you can email me at maria@thereluctantmedium.us. Find me on all kinds of social networks. And if you'd like to connect with others in a free environment, along with myself, consider downloading the Mighty Networks app and searching for the Miracles Happen community. Would love to see you there. Until next time, my friend, may you be well.